You obviously philosophically want to say that that's the truth, but realistically, there's always, you're filming, you're doing stuff, and it's hard.
Well, Mauricio, congratulations on the book, The Dealmaker. I loved it. I learned so much. I mean, what made you want to write this book and, put forth all of your different mantras?
I honestly, I just wanted to give back. I have a company. I have right now 2,000 agents working for us, and a lot of we probably have about 2,500 people in total at the company, and I'm just constantly giving advice and talking to people, and everybody's always saying, you should really write a book. You should talk to us about all of this stuff, and I just really wanted just to give back. I feel like I have mantras and philosophies that are quite simple. And sometimes, as I talk to people, I realize that they tend to overcomplicate things. And, sometimes you just need to have a voice of simplicity, right? And I felt like I had something to share, and I hope I did. And based on the feedback, we've been getting some really great feedback. People have really enjoyed it, and I think I have helped some people already. So I'm just looking for that to continue to spread and have fun.
Definitely. Out of all your mantras, which do you feel is the most important? Or if there's one lesson that you want everybody to take away from this, what do you think it should be?
For me, the reason I wrote this book and everything in there is important. And I can tell you that, everybody's different. That's one of the things that I wanted to make forward in that book, is that everybody is different. So I didn't want to make a book of the 5 steps to success, right? Or, the 7 steps to being the best, salesperson on the planet. That to me is a very specific thing. Everything in the book for me is important, and it kind of follows an order. Okay. From the stories and the mantras of dress me slow because I'm in a hurry, to the certainty versus doubt, to all of those things, but they all have, not celebrating a success like the sale of the Playboy Mansion, but rather showing up in the office the next day and what's next, right? So all of those things are just things that for me are equally important. They take a path, right? And that path is what makes my life, right? Now, what I wrote, and it's not meant that everything is important for everybody. For me, if there's one mantra that hits you, Christina, great. If that one mantra or that one thing changes your life, mission accomplished. I don't need you to like them all, right? But for me, they're all important.
Definitely. I loved it. Is it true that nobody in your family actually read the book ahead of time? And when they did, what was their reaction and what kind of really surprised them?
Totally true. They have read it. Some are still reading it. They so far just, lots of support, love, for my kids. It's been really nice for them to see and hear some stories that they didn't really get to hear before. Certainly see me in a different way. For Kyle, she knows most of those stories, and she's part of almost all of those stories. And she read, thoughts of it, but not the whole thing at all.
Yeah, I loved, you talk about your early relationship with Kyle. Would you say that, you did fall in love with her instantly? I loved your first dinner together where you just clicked. Or your lunch. I'm sorry, lunch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Not dinner, right? That was the whole point of that story. No, we did. We clicked early and, fell in love early and just kept seeing each other. And, it's been so far an amazing 27 years, I think we just completed. So it's been a really fun time so far.
Definitely. When it comes to business, was there anything that the two of you ever disagreed on, or was she always very supportive?
I think she's always been very supportive. We don't have a relationship where I run by every business decision or all of the different things, nor she with me. I mean, we certainly talk to each other about the big stuff. And I've been extremely supportive of her career and everything that she's been doing. And, I hope gave her a little bit of courage to go, do it again, and support. And she's given me a tremendous amount of support and love and courage to go, take chances and risks, and knowing that I have her and the family behind me. And it's just, that when you know that, it just gives you so much more confidence, and it's just so much better.
Definitely. And, you talk about taking risks, and one of the biggest risks in your career was obviously leaving the business of Hilton Highland. Was that a really tough decision for you, or did you feel at that time that that was the only decision for you?
It was an extremely tough decision for me. I didn't sleep for months and months, because of that decision, because I think I'm a very loyal person. But the point of that story and the point of that book, and I love that company, and I love Rick, and I love all of that stuff, right? But the point of that story was that sometimes you need something to happen to you to help you make a decision that you should be making anyway, right? Because had that not happened to me, I would not have left. I would not have made that decision. But again, probably, one of the best things that's ever happened, to me in my life, right? So sometimes you need a circumstance to happen to you in order for you to be willing to open that next door and to go into that next room and to be, to take the next step in your life. Something you want, but comfort, contentness, keeps you back. Neither of them is right or wrong, by the way. Like I would have done great at Hilton and Highland. But what I've built now and what I've done and that step that I take, has been fantastic. So obviously in hindsight, I'm glad I did it. And I'm glad it happened the way it happened.
Definitely. I'm sure it was a scary decision at first too, because you never know how these things could work out.
Oh, you're putting it all at risk. You definitely don't know how it can work out. You don't know if anybody's going to follow me. It's like that moment when Jerry Maguire leaves, and he's like, who's coming with me? Right. And it's like, nobody. Right. So, you just never really, you never know. You're 100% putting it all at risk.
Definitely. I know that you write in the book that there was a lot of anger there at the time when you decided to leave. Do you think that Rick ever regrets you, like, not making you that full-time partner that you wanted? I know that you don't regret this decision because look at how things happened, but do you think that there was ever regrets on their side?
I don't want to, go put myself into their shoes and make a statement out there that, what Rick may or may not think. Mm-hmm. Certainly has never talked to me about that. I just, I just don't want to go.
I totally understand. Where do you all stand today? I mean, obviously this was years ago. It's family. So where does everybody stand today?
Yeah, we got through that. Rick and I have a very good, working relationship. Today, obviously, it's a different problem between the families. It's more, and it's well known between Kyle and Kathy. Not with me right now. I just hope that, as Rick and the family reads, my book, that they realize that my stories are just, facts and real, and I'm certainly not throwing anything at them because I love them more than anything, and I think that what they do is fantastic. So I just hope that that's the way it's read. But right now they've got other issues that don't have anything to do with me, so that's okay.
Definitely. You do write in the book that you hope that Kyle and her sisters can look past differences. Do you feel like that is happening?
Look, I hope so. I mean, family is family. They are such a tight family. They're a very strong family. And it's just full of, amazing, huge personalities in that family, right? Everybody. And so I definitely hope that, they're sisters, they love each other. Their mom would want them to be always together. And I know that. And so hopefully that, sisterhood and that family is, sticks together and, makes it through it. I mean, our nieces, our nephews and nieces are amazing. The way that the cousins get along is amazing. And, it's just sad that there has to be this kind of conflict because it would be so much better if there wasn't. Definitely.
But, you have such a great business with the agency, and it's also a family business. All your, like a bunch of your girls do work for you. Do you ever worry about mixing business and family? Do the girls ever get nervous about it? Or do you have a good working relationship, I guess?
Both. I mean, there's no question about that. Business creates opinions, and opinions, you have to, express them if you believe in something, because there's a lot at risk. There's money, there's careers, there's moving forward. All of those type of things are there, and they're all at risk. So it's very important to be open, to be collaborative, to have full transparency, as I always say. We have, I don't get that worried. I have a really amazing relationship with my kids, and they're amazing kids. and it's been so much fun. Doing buying Beverly Hills with them was season 1 was extraordinary. It actually made us even closer. And I'm really excited now for season 2 coming. So let's go have some fun. Let's create some drama and some more Succession vibes. I mean, let's see who wants it the most and who wants to take over the Umansky team, and see what that looks like.
I love it. I loved season 1, so I'm so excited for season 2. I'm very excited. So would you say, like you said, that Succession vibe, is there a friendly competition within the family?
Oh, without question. And there is a true competition. And it's, and it is somewhat friendly, but it's real. So there's a little bit of all of that, right? I mean, there's no question it's friendly, and the kids and the sisters love each other. But it's a real thing.
Yeah. Do you have a rule as a parent when it comes to being both a boss and a father? Is there like a number 1 rule that the girls must follow?
No, I don't. But I can tell you that when we get home, we don't bring up business home. We once it's out, and we talk about other stuff. And that's one of the things that I'm really proud of, that we've been able to. And it's actually just become easy now in an 8. And my kids actually get a little bit frustrated because they'd like to, while I'm at home and they actually have me for themselves, they'd love to be able to ask me some more questions and talk to me about it. And they just know I've switched off. They could tell, and when they ask me about a question about business, I don't even process it. And they get a little bit frustrated about that, but I need it for my mental health.
I'm sure. I know that you write in the book too. You said what happens during filming stays there. You just said that kind of before with business. So when it comes to filming as well, does whatever happen when the cameras are rolling, does that stay on camera and you guys don't kind of?
Yes and no. You want it to. In an ideal world, you say yes. But the reality is that once you know something, you can't unknow it. And once you say something, you can't take it back. You can apologize, you can, whatever and all that stuff. But, you can't unknow something, right? You can't delete it from your brain and be like, oh, it's deleted, it didn't exist, right? Once you know something, you know something. So you obviously philosophically want to say that that's true, but realistically, there's always you're filming, you're doing stuff, and it's hard.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love hearing or reading some of your real estate transactions, especially selling the home to Lady Gaga the first time you met her, the Michael Jackson estate, feeling like his spirit was there. I mean, what was that experience like?
It was extraordinary. I mean, I can tell you, I was not an open guy to spirituality and all of that, ever until my mother-in-law died. And I witnessed, a very powerful event. And then I was like, whoa, this actually, is real. And I was just always like, no way, everybody's full of shit. I'm sitting, I don't even want to hear it. But something very intense happened. And, and then since I've opened myself to that, I've seen multiple things. But I can tell you that with Michael, I mean, I was, it happened multiple times. And he's just, obviously, I think you see it in stronger people and more powerful people, and then people that it wasn't necessarily their time to go. I don't think he's there anymore, but I do think he was there. Yeah, I don't know if he's there anymore. I have no clue. But I can tell you that I don't have a doubt that he was there, during the time that I was selling the house.
And he helped you sell the house, which is kind of incredible. But I love with Lady Gaga, the first time you met her, you pretty much sold a house to her by just showing her some photos. I mean, you have the secret touch. I mean, it makes sense to write this book.
And it's not that it's a secret touch, it's about knowledge and knowing and listening, right? And that's what I say about the story with, Lady Gaga. I mean, she, we were just shooting the shit and she was just telling me what she'd like. And I'm like, I have it, right? I knew what to pull up. I knew it wasn't like I just, pulled out my phone and the first house that appeared was the house that, I was like magic touch. Through listening to her, I'm like, I know your house. I actually know it. And I pulled up that exact house and she's still there today. And it's an amazing house. I wish I owned it.
Sure. I love the story about you calling out the contract or the inspector as well with the tiling and the roof. I thought that was great too. Some great stories and some great mantras in there. And I love, you also opened up about your time on the Housewives, and you said when you first started the show, you guys made a pros and cons list. Do the pros still outweigh the cons when it comes to Real Housewives?
Well, we're pot committed now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're actually in the other room right now filming. Yeah, we're fully pot committed now. And I think, for Kyle, we still like it. I think the family is, accustomed to, what it is to be on reality television, which is different than being, an actor, completely different. You just get accustomed to it. There are still pros and cons, and I'd love to find that list, but I guarantee you that the pros and cons that we came up with 13 years ago are probably the exact same ones that, we'd have on the list today.
I'm sure. Did your marriage ever suffer because of the show? Because obviously we see so many marriages from Housewives, they fail, but did your marriage ever suffer? Did you guys always, have a strong foundation?
Yeah, we've had an amazing marriage, and it's been, it's been incredible. We've been, on the television show now 13 years, I think it's 13 seasons. I'm not sure if it's 13 or 14 or whatever that is. But it's been, amazing. And we've been very, very lucky, to now. I think that right now it's, we're both very, very busy. We just have to keep things, going and work at it.
Mm-hmm, totally. You do write in the book that Lisa Vanderpump was one of the people who always had to have her way and didn't like that Kyle called her out. Do you think that was the downfall of the friendship? And why did you want to add that into the book?
I don't know why I added that into the book. Sometimes you're just telling stories and, it's part of what's going on and it's just real. I just like to try to be real. Like that's who I am. It's sad, they had a very tight friendship for a long, long time. And she just never wanted to, let Kyle win. She was extraordinarily stubborn and, and it happened and, the end of that relationship. Right. And it was a big fallout, so from the perspective of the television show and in reality, it was kind of an important event because they were very good friends. They were very good friends, both off and on screen. They were very tight. I think I was just talking about, the experiences on reality television and how sometimes, experiences can on film, on television can cause relationships, to end and things to happen. Both, you can end up with an incredible friend and then you can end up with, losing that friend, which is what happened with, with Kyle and Lisa.
You write in the book that Ken, Lisa's husband, was a cool dude. You enjoyed spending time together. So was that difficult when when you and Ken kind of falling out as well?
Of course. And in that case, I was going to back my wife 100% of the way. And Ken was going to back his wife 100% of the way. So there was just no option for us. But, we developed a friendship. We developed a strong tie. And we liked each other. I still like him. I don't have anything against him. But he even more than me it's way, and I'm very much, whatever my wife says is right, whatever I'll back her 1,000% of the way. But Ken's even more so. If I back her 1,000%, he's like 1,000,000% behind, 10x behind Lisa. So, he's one of those guys where, they're not talking, and I saw him, after all of this happened, I went right up to him and, gave him a hug and a handshake and he wouldn't, shake my hand and he wouldn't hug me. That's been a long time ago right now. But, to me, it's like, well, wait a minute, like you and I didn't do anything like that. Just like, this is bullshit. So yeah, it happens.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does happen. But I know that you and Harry Hamlin are really good friends. You've maintained a lot of friendships with the house husbands.
Harry and I are still good friends. We still text each other. I love him. He's amazing. I'm still friends with Lisa, zero issues there. And, PK's become a very good friend of mine. Paul Nassif, from back in the day is still a very good friend of mine. I was talking to him today. I'm selling his house right now for him. And, I've developed some good friendships there for sure.
Definitely. What do you think? And I have to say, before we wrap up, Kyle looks amazing, better than ever. What do you think about how smoking hot your wife looks?
It's so hot. She's healthy. She's working out. She's happy. She got on this mojo back in the summer. Quit drinking, and just went for full health. And she's one of those people that once she gets something going in her mind, you can't stop that. And she feels great. She looks great. She's happy, and that's all that matters. But yeah, she looks hot right now.
Yeah, she looks great. And so, Mauricio, before we wrap up, when people read this book from start to finish, what are you hoping that they take away from it?
As I said at the beginning, anything, how to live better, how to be a better salesperson, how to live better, with yourself. I think it's really more about how to be self-analytical. I think is really kind of like the end of the day is what I hope that somebody learns how to do is how to self-analyze and figure out what you need to do to be a better human. And that just all the way around: philanthropy, sales, business, parent, husband, wife, and boss, anything, right? And motivator, anything. And to me, there's there's so much stuff in that book in such a short period of time, in my opinion, that there's just a lot of different things that will hopefully touch people in a different way.
Definitely. It's a great read. Mauricio, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And congratulations on the book, upcoming season of the Netflix show. So many great things going on.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Take care. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.